jibe over and tell us to the west corner of the boat.
The GB1 team have now been sailing in Cagliari for over a week, and after ironing out a few technical problems with the AC40, training is in full swing.
The AC40 feels like a toy boat in comparison to the AC75. It's like a little go-kart.
You're sailing the boat at high speeds. They're quite twitchy and really responsive to the sea state. You feel every lump and bump.
The wind, the spray, the actual feeling of doing, 30, 40 knots, and the G-force actually, it's unlike any other boat that I've ever sailed.
Despite their ever-changing weather conditions, the team are keen to push their training and their AC40 to the limit.
It was fresh and quite wavy, and we were seeing 17 to 19 knots. We're trying to push.
We've had a really good session actually pushing the top end of what these boats are capable of.
And then it kind of stepped up to 20 to 24 knots. We're managing risk as much as we can, but at times you've got to push in more difficult conditions.
And everything was going really well, we were doing some hot laps around, and then we decided to do a two-board bear away.
A two-board bear away is the process of turning away from the wind, a high acceleration manoeuvre whilst keeping both boards in the water for stability and control.
And it's been getting windier and windier and wavy, and we're like, oh yeah, we'll take it easy and head in. All those typical ones, which always happens on the way in. Sense it a little bit too hard, I guess, on the bear away.
We overloaded the boat a little bit through the sea state.
A huge amount of water over the deck.
Cover off, please, sailors. Ready for it too. Okay, eyes on fin.
Initially, that feeling is quite hard hitting. You get the deceleration and the G-force throwing you forward, and then a moment later you've got the water in your face trying to kick your head back.
Having recently done his safety training, rookie Finn Dickinson is now being truly tested.
Me and Bledden got swept out the boat and were underneath the main a little bit before eventually bombing out the back of the leech.
The chase boats are always close behind and are able to get to the team within seconds.
You have a couple of seconds to brace yourself for it, and then you're in a bit of a washing machine, like all the water's coming over the foredeck, and before you know it, you're underwater.
Okay, 2, all 4 counted for.
After an incident, the safety protocol is for the sailors to do a head count from port to starboard. Once all are safe and accounted for, the recovery operation can start.
Should we get this thing pointing the right way? Feel happy, sailors? Yeah.
Slow down.
Despite the capsize seemingly dramatic and dangerous, it's par for the course for the GB1 team and experienced helm, Dylan Fletcher.
As soon as it happens, though, you immediately go into recovery. Let's just get the boat back upright and recover the yacht. It's all part of sailing and pushing the limits.
No one wants to have an incident like that, but it's something that we train for and we all learn about, and every situation is different and you just have to kind of respond to what is happening in that moment.
But sometimes those incidents are actually really useful to bring everyone together and to learn from those incidents, how you can do it better with a big boat and so on.
We have a rescue rib within 30 seconds of the boat at all time. We have rescue divers. We have a medic on board. None of that was needed in this instance. And then, of course, your primary concern once the people are safe is to protect the asset, make sure the boat we damage as little as possible. And I'm pleased to say, we didn't even damage a mainsail batten. So, we were pleased to be able to get the boat up, get the boat fixed up and ready for training the rest of the week.
With the boat back safely and all systems checked, it's business as usual. And the team prepare for some healthy competition.
This has been the first camp that we've had both boats operating. So we've had Sienna, which is the APP boat, and also Athena, which is the GB1 AC40 out on the water. So kind of had some great racing, lining up the two boats out there on the water, and the conditions have been really good this week.
At this stage of the training, the best way to help the GB1 team is to have a more competitive pathway boat, and the best way for the pathway boat is to have a more competitive GB1 team. So it's in everybody's interest to get better. But the moment two boats are in the vicinity of each other, the race is on.
Okay, stand by bear away.
Nice line coming.
Think we can match their tack at the moment and go under them.
Nice there, good speed, no faster. Slightly higher, slightly faster.
Where are they? They've dived in just above us.
Yeah, we're crossing the line now. They'll be 100 metres behind us. Okay, where are they? Okay, they are on port. We're crossing.
The AC40, like, it almost doesn't feel like it's real. Like, it defeats everything that you think conventional sailing is. Like, you're going, 4 times the wind speed sometimes, which is, like, mind-blowing. But a boat so big and heavy can be going 4 times the wind.
You can't really get any reference when you're out there on your own. I mean, we look at all the data, but having that second boat for a, real reference point. How do we perform that tack? How do we make the jibe? How do we get off the start line versus another boat? It's invaluable, and especially with the World Series event just around the corner here on these waters, being able to line up and get race sharp, as we call it, is really valuable.
GV1 are lining up, currently on port with 2 boards.
Faster, same height. Yeah, take with like 2 degrees windward here, 3 degrees windward.
Turning. Wheel. Forward up.
And turning. I will. 15. Keep the speed on, that's good.
We're not pushing it too much, but it's really nice to have a bit of friendly rivalry and a bit of competition within the team.
Even, on the chase boat we get competitive when, whether our boat's winning or GB1's winning, and that's so great because it just keeps driving everyone to strive for what we'd want, and which is winning near the end of the day.
For sure, a big element of kind of freedom out there, like sailing these boats. You're going so fast, all under the power of the wind. And these boats are so kind of multi-dimensional in the fact that we're also kind of flying above the water. So yeah, it's like really thrilling, and especially when you add more boats to the scene. So really looking forward to a few weeks' time when we'll get to go racing against all the other teams.
As the team head into April, the first prelim regatta is only a month away. But morale is high, even as time continues to be the biggest challenge.
I think in the past we've always kind of embraced that kind of vibe of being the underdogs. Obviously we got a great performance last time round in Barcelona to get through to the final and beat kind of a strong group of challengers. And it'll be great to get back out in the big boat later on this year.
In the America's Cup, you're always in a race against the clock, and that's why it's so important to be efficient. So everything that we do, from the time it takes us to get the boat out the shed, put the mast in, get it launched, get out there on the tow, get the sail up, we measure all that stuff because we know that every hour of sailing is going to help us. So, it is a race against the clock, and we have to be efficient and we have to use our time wisely.